give our parting words to the brother, but we'll have our publisher, come out and give our words. Let's talk about Dame real quick, man, while we in the podcast. 340.
Let's get it.
Episode 341. I'm bugging in the building right now. Just 340, 341. But you text me, man. You text me earlier. I was giving my daughter a nap, and you hit me up, and I seen it on Instagram. Dame Dash, Dusko Poppington, was busy on IG today showing interviews of Vlad and his interview with Adam 22 and Dame's interview with Adam 22.
Right.
Very heavy culture vulturing. A lot of culture vulturing going on.
From what they say, yeah.
What's your thoughts on that, man?
I gleaned it. I got a chance. I looked on Dame's Instagram and I wanted to see. I clicked on the interview that he had up there, so I wanted to see exactly what they were talking about. Pretty much Vlad and Adam 22 was sitting there talking about that little bit of fallout with Dame Dash. Vlad was like, I warned you about these certain people.
Mm-hmm.
And then they kind of got into talking about his network and how they thought that wasn't going to, make it. I think Vlad came right out and said he think it's going to fail.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it was just like, and I'm looking right now, if you go to Dame Dash's page right now, he's going in on like 6 minutes ago. He just put this up again about going on to his platform. But my thing is always going to be, what in the hell was he doing on that platform to begin with? And this is like, all right, everybody knows this girl is burning, but you just had to have it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that's my argument. Like, I hear all these people keep saying the culture vulture, they wonder what this movement, but all I see is us on these platforms. So I'm like, yo, shut up. And then you're over, like, you could have thought a few months ago that these guys had some type of exclusive deal with each other. And I kind of still think behind the scenes, they may be all working together just to create a headline, because at the end of the day, you're feeding people back to his platform. You guys are feeding each other back to each other's platform. So Vlad is sitting back like, whatever. Everybody's coming over here now. This video you put up of Vlad got what? Maybe damn near 1 million views already. Probably more than they had on his channel. So it's just like, what are we really doing here? Stop crying. Stop always saying this about this person, and you go to the platform and build them up. That'd be like somebody we coming at, and they coming to our studio and chopping it up with us. It just don't make no sense, man. Right. This is a game going on behind the scenes, I think. And quite frankly, shout out to my man Kenyatta and all that. Love you, brother, but I just can't get down with this, bro. I just can't. I'm sorry.
I couldn't agree with you more. Oh God, I couldn't have said it better myself. I'm not going to be too long-winded on this because you just pretty much said it.
Nah, I gotta go in, man.
The thing that bothers me though, man, it's the hypocrisy about this shit. You're still throwing out culture vultures, but 3 months ago, not even 3 months ago, a half a year ago, you basically threw that shit in the toilet, which bothered a lot of people who really genuinely believed in what you and Kenyatta had going on. We had Kenyatta on the podcast a couple of weeks ago to talk about the memory of Nipsey Hussle. And in that interview, we talked and brought up Dame.
Mm-hmm.
And he was talking about tours that were about to go on and little things that were coming off of the book. We seen rappers with the book. We seen the momentum that was coming behind it. We seen Leo Cohen.
Leo Cohen.
Leo Cohen going at the book and shitting on the book on the Breakfast Club. It was getting and rocking and making waves. And for Dame to basically apologize in the heat of it and turn his back, I can say that on Kenyatta really bothered me, but I can't be bothered if he's not bothered. And it doesn't seem like he's bothered. So that is what it is. But Dame complaining about Adam 22, calling him a culture vulture, yet y'all had a series out, not only on your platform, but his platform, making money off this shit, helping him just as well, introducing him to a whole black audience, just feeding him right to it. And then Vlad TV, like you said, I couldn't have said it better myself. You only see us up there. He ain't running to grab no white balls unless he did something to incriminate a black dude.
Right.
So you feeding him.
All the staples on the show was just like, you got Lord Jamar, all the old BG Knock, all these dudes are brothers. That staples that he does regular interviews with brothers. Brand Nubian Lord Jamar is a staple on his show.
Which is cool,
it's
but don't complain.
Don't complain.
Don't complain. And there's a lot of complaining going on, but then there's a lot of backsiding action going on to accompany all that talk about, oh, we need to do for self, oh, we need to do this, oh, we need to do that. There's plenty of outlets out here that y'all can promote, that y'all can big up. We're not just talking about us. There's a million of them, black-owned, successful, on the rise, that y'all can sit back and go, oh, you know what? Yeah, that's the one right there. Let's put all our money. Let's endorse them. Let's put our artists in here. Let's get our people in here. Let's tell them their stories. Mm-hmm. Let's get them to 1 million views. Let's turn them into that, because this is what we need. Y'all don't really care about that. Yeah. And the action, proves more than the words. I'm sorry. Y'all need to put a little more proof in your pudding.
If somebody who's always crying about culture vultures, this and that, he seems like he's always around them culture vultures somehow, some way. They find their way into this dude's circumference, into a circle, whatever the case may be, into the bedroom. Like he's always finds a way to stay around these people that call themselves culture vultures. You would think that he would be the person that'll be, so far away from ever getting into an altercation like this again, because he just know he has a signal for, culture vulture, get away from him. But I want to ask you about the part that Vlad said. He alluded to the Rockefeller breakup, and he kind of threw a subtle shot when he was like, you see guys, they come together and they're partners, and everybody thinks that, they're the one that made that thing go. But when they separate, you see exactly what happens. He alluded to Biggs, what happened with him. He alluded to Jay-Z. He said after Rockefeller, Jay-Z blew up. You know what I mean? And then it was kind of, we know it was a shot at Dame, because it's like, all right, Dame, what did you do? You're trying to put your eggs in this media basket with this whole, network thing. And Vlad said, look, I think it's going to fail. Looking at, the SWOT analysis of it. What do you think about the shot that Vlad threw at Dame with the Rockefeller breakup?
It was an easy shot to take, obviously, because it's the obvious.
Is it accurate, though?
No, it's not accurate. And I'm going to tell you why. Because there's still a lot of things, still a lot of self-owned businesses that Dame Dash created outside of the media realm that he's still making money from. So I'm not going to hate on him for having his wave. I don't fucking know the Dusko Poppington brand, the clothing line, Rachel Roy. He has
Dame
movies,
Dash Studios.
Dame Dash Studios. Even though we can give criticism to that aspect of the media game as much as we want, he's still out there living well, moving how he wants, smoking how he wants, living the life he wants. So I'm not going to hate on him because he's not a billionaire. No, I'm not being nice, because here's where I got to get a little more critical of our man Dame. Why'd you go on there to fucking begin with?
That's a good question. Great question.
Why'd you give him the fucking ammo to begin with?
Great.
How do you say culture vulture this, culture vulture that, but then I'm going to go, like in your mind, do you think I'm going to stand up against the establishment, take him on one-on-one while I still feed his platform and give him millions of views?
Right.
Puts Dame Dash, tore my ass up in an interview. Like, you just gave him all the gold.
Thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars.
That's the part that's confusing to me. That makes no sense.
Right.
I think that Vlad was very off-colored. I think he was very disrespectful in saying that. I think that they had some bad business, and he's always throwing shots at Dame. He basically said he bit the hand that feed him, and that's why he won't have him on his platform the way he has a Lord Jamar or Godfrey and help his platform out, because he doesn't listen. That's what fucking Vlad said. That's not me.
Yeah, he was throwing shots.
You know what I'm saying? But you went on there. You invited that man in your home. You opened that door for business with him, knowing, because you're smart, brilliant, that he was already who he was.
But this whole culture vulture thing, all these people are culture vultures, dog. What do y'all think that these companies and all these hip hop websites are? Who do you think owns these companies?
Period.
Who do you think owns these companies, man?
Mm-hmm.
Just because they put us out in the front and we're the writers and the different people that handle the social medias and Instagrams, because we keep in touch, what the culture is. But sitting up at the top is somebody who don't look like you, who don't even probably give a damn or even know what the hell is going on, but they just cut the checks. So keep it a buck, yo. You feeding all these culture vultures. I ain't gonna start naming names, but we know who they are. We know the top websites that everybody's going and getting information from, and people are tagging them these different places because they want them to pick up their story. Yep. We know. So it's just like, these people, who do you think run these companies? Put these CEOs out in front of everybody and show them who they are. You got companies out here that's ran by us that you can do exclusively with us. That's what we thought the culture vulture movement was about. But like you said, he threw the shit in the toilet saying, man, I'm sorry, bro. I don't want to hear it. I love Dame Dash. I love what he stands for, but I don't want to hear this shit about some culture vulture when you fed that culture vulture tens of thousands of dollars. I don't want to hear it.
Why is he doing it now? Because even that fucking interview was half a fucking year ago.
Could be scripted. That interview was half a year ago. The one he was on Vlad and Adam 22. That
shit was easily. That shit was a long time ago, bro.
Exactly.
A while ago. And that Adam 22 interview with Vlad wasn't last week. That shit was a while ago. So why bring it up? Why you bringing it up now?
That's a good question. And we always say, you can go to other platforms. Now, we want to have Dame on this platform and ask him this question. Now, whether he wants to come or not, whatever. But you're very comfortable feeding the culture vultures. Do you guys know how much money these dudes make when Dame Dash goes in that platform? You guys better check the records, man.
He's huge.
Come on, man.
And got all the respect in the world for Dame Dash, but got all the goddamn respect and manhood in the world to ask him a fair question. If you sitting here saying Culture vulture this, culture vulture that. Why the fuck are you up in the nest with the niggas?
Right. And if you don't want to come on this platform, I can recommend at least a couple other platforms that I can say, all right, go rock on my man. Go rock on my man Doc Hicks over here. Go rock on my people so-and-so over here. You know what I mean? If you don't want to come deal with us on this platform. But it ain't got, that has nothing to do with why we feel this way, because he hasn't been on the platform. We're just saying, why are you complaining about sleeping with about getting herpes when you knew the girl had herpes, but you wanted to sleep with her that bad, brother?
It is what it is, man. That was the day in news today. Do we have anything else to talk about in hip hop today? Let's go through the screen, man. We had a great interview. Oh God, this afternoon.
Definitely.
Legendary actor Leon Robinson. We got a little mixed up with our technical difficulties, but nonetheless, we got 50 good minutes of conversation with the brother. Y'all will hear that in its entirety. Right. Obviously, if you're not listening to it now, or you just enjoyed that, I'll be sorry. Right. On the podcast right now, as we are over the 1 hour mark on this Monday evening. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that 5-star rate. And if you're listening or you're watching on the platform, special shout out to Vic, the publicist, for putting in work. Special shout out to our man, Foul Mouth Angel, who did the incredible artwork you guys see behind you right now. Go follow him on YouTube or IG at Foul Mouth Angel. Yeah, man, great show. Man.
I got one thing I want to talk about, then I got one more thing, announcement that I want to make. According to reports, ex-NFL quarterback Tavares Jackson passed away on Sunday after a car crash that took place in Alabama, where he grew up, man. So I want to put that out there for the people. Condolences to that young brother, only 1 year older, or 2 years older than me, I should say, at 36.
Yeah, my age.
And Sandman's age. So I wanted to announce that to the people that are fans, and check out the podcast exclusively for the news portion of it. Waka Flocka, Sandman, he says Atlanta has been running the rap game longer than anyone else. Do you agree? Do you disagree? I also put a little poll up, where I asked people, who do you think's been running it longer? I
saw that.
Yeah. I think I put like New York, even though it's the East and Philly and all together, but New York, the Midwest, the West, and then the South, or i.e. Atlanta. Saying, man, who do you think ran the game the longest? I've been getting so many different responses, people saying so many different things. I think it's great, but I'm going to hear what you got to say.
I'm so partial to the East. I ain't mad at Waka for saying Atlanta, because when you think about it, they've been on a fucking hell of a run.
It ain't longer than the East, though, baby.
It's been a hell of a run, but it's very, I don't know if it's longer than the East. And then you still got the West. So great conversation. I ain't mad at for him saying it. Great debate. I'm still giving it to the East.
People gonna rip us, but hey, look, I'm giving it to the East.
I'm partial to the East.
Me too.
Rip away.
Let's throw the dates up. We throw the dates up. They still got about a good decade before they can start even talking. Yeah, they've been running, but they got some time. Now, if you could keep it, which it looks like they're probably going to hold on to it from the foreseeable future. Like we said, it all kind of merged to a certain extent. But would you say the West is the same as that, or does the West still have its distinctive sound? What would you say?
The West still has its distinctive sound.
Definitely.
When you got TDE out there, when you got the Bay out there, when you got rappers out there that still give that genuine West Coast sound and won't go away from it.
Facts.
Man, West Coast is just as alive and strong as any other coast, man.
Definitely.
Salute. But then when you look at, like you said, rappers bridging the gap, you don't know. I couldn't tell you where a Lil Baby was from or Roddy Ricch was from based off their music alone. I got to listen to their story, hear how they speak and things like that to understand where this one's from or where that one's from. Because the music, where it used to kind of tell you a story geographically or where somebody was from, nah, it's they mixing and bridging the gap.
Word. Nah, man, that was a great segment, man, on the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast, man. 1 hour and 7 minute mark. We just came off a powerful interview with actor Leon Robinson that we're finishing up today. And I'm excited about that. Tomorrow, we got the mayor of Atlantic City. We got so many different things going on. Shout out to Vic, the publicist, once again, but special announcement to the people. I need everyone, if you want to get your music, on our platforms and get 1 20-minute interview with us, hit me up at ohgod@hiphopun.com or Sandman at DLS Media Inc. #1@gmail.com and inquire about the rates, and we could definitely get you on the platform, get you heard in front of over 1 million people per month. I'm gonna wind it down there, Sam, man. I think it's great. A shout out to the great people at Manscaped, you know what I mean, with the excellent promo code they have for us today, the excellent products they provide. Make sure I go check that out. And that's all I got on my side, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna conclude it too, man. Shout out to Young Nice. He took care of the promotional package with the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast. Had a great interview with him this past week. Shout out to Jade Mazentoff. If y'all haven't seen her single Rematch, you can go check that out. It'll also be up on Hip Hop News Uncensored and the Uncensored Truth podcast in the next 24 to 48 hours. You can check that out. We got an interview with Jade Mazentoff out of Texas, incredible singer, on Saturday, man. Y'all heard an incredible episode, another one, 341 in the books of the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast on this Monday morning, afternoon, and evening, whenever you're listening. Yeah. We appreciate you. You want to stay tuned for 342 because we'll have the mayor of Atlantic City, Marty Smalls, in the building, knocking it out with nonstop great content, not missing a beat, trying to give y'all nonstop content going on with this virus. Absolutely. Man, and this pandemic we got going on, man. So y'all hit that 5-star rating. Let us know y'all appreciate the work.